I had heard that before, I believe just before, but he'll be the interim chief until he gets the paperwork done. I believe that was the timing of it.
Is that any sort of a setback?
Not to me.
That you've put a guy in the acting chief's position who isn't even qualified to be a police chief in Indiana?
Not to me. He's got 32 years in Baltimore. I'm okay with all that. I needed somebody in there that of his character and his qualities, so that's what I wanted.
At the time you were concerned about, and you made those remarks last week, you were concerned about the public trust, and really you expressed your dismay at what happened. Was it a good idea to put in someone who was going to raise, even though he has 32 years of experience, no doubt about that, spotless record in Baltimore, that this issue just pops up that he's not certified?
No, I don't. No, it's a paperwork issue. You get it over here, and hopefully the state will do it, and we'll move on.
Well, when you name him, of course, you want him to hit the ground running, because last week was a crisis. There's a lot of things, and if he can't hit the ground running, if he's got to keep running back and forth to ILEA in Plainfield and get his credentials, he's spending a lot of time working on his resume and credentials as opposed to getting hands-on and working things.
I think we're overplaying this one a little bit. He's a good man. He's got a lot of experience. He can get things done.
Mayor, when you consider in the future, when you ask the department, when you bring on folks that are from out of state that have the credentials in the background, will you ask them as part of the employment to at least get that paperwork done, no matter what?
Well, I don't think we were anticipating this clearly. So, we could have done this a year and a half ago, frankly.
Are you disappointed that nobody did? And anticipating the day because his name came up last fall.
That's water in the bridge. You can't go back.
Well, his name came across your desk as a possible police chief last fall, and it was not acted upon at that time.
Lots of names going across my desk, police chiefs. A lot of it's speculation, a lot of it's just different talk. So, I don't think anything. But he's a good man.
I'm sure he's a good man with a lot of experience, but he's been here for almost 2 years, and nobody got his credentials together before they brought him. Is that disappointing to you in the Marine Corps? Would you accept that?
You don't know what's going to happen in the future. Was it anticipated that he'd be the interim chief? I don't know. I would think so.
Was it distressing to you to hear Frank Straub describe the city that you grew up in with 50 years of what he called police corruption? Do you buy that there's 50 years of police corruption?
Well, I don't think it's been continuous. I think there have been pieces here and there. So I didn't hear the exact testimony, but I know he said something that referred back to the past. So, but you can go back a little bit and see some of that. Sure.
Is it corruption or misbehavior?
Yeah, I think there might be elements of both in there, but again, people probably overplaying that a little bit. I didn't hear the testimony, so
well, he said it in the press conference, and then he said it later in the testimony. So he said it while he was standing there with you when he said to my question, 30, 40, 50 years of corruption.
Goes back. It does. Some of it does go back, no question. I mean, some people remember the Star investigations a while back, so. Sure.
Now that he said this, do you anticipate that there's going to be some announcement coming out quickly from his office that he has in fact uncovered corruption that will verify what he told everybody last week?
I can talk about what the future's going to bring us.
Has he told you, Mayor, expect that I've got something and I can confirm what I said last week?
I'm not going to talk about our private discussions. I would never do that.
Then how about for the people of Indianapolis? Should the people of Indianapolis expect that there soon will be an announcement about corruption that will destroy their faith in their police department?
Again, I can't. You're commenting on something that might happen in the future, so I mean, it's not responsible to speculate on that.
Do you have a reaction to the FOP's 10-point suggestions from yesterday? Well, Mark said that some of the ideas aren't doable, some of them are already being done. He said that the FOP sometimes creates its own problems with its own solutions. I'm assuming he's reflecting your thoughts on that. So do you want to expand on what he's told us?
No, I think that's fairly accurate. I think they should stick to representing their members.
Will you at least consider the audit survey? Believe that? Are you opposed to an audit, or do you believe that you're?
I'm not necessarily opposed to an audit, but we're not over budget. Sheriff's office is the only one saying they're over budget, and I don't think they're over budget anyway. I think they're overspending. I expect them to, as I said a couple weeks ago, I expect everybody to live within their budget. Everybody had to do more with less, and everybody has to learn how to do more with less, and that includes everybody in public safety. And I will tell you, I've been very open about this. The efficiencies that we've had to do in DMV and public and in parks and different areas, we've done them over the last few years, and no one has done it in public safety. But we're going to do that in public safety. We're going to be more efficient in public safety in the future, and everybody better get on board with that.
And so, are you concerned about the plan calls for the reemergence of the Sheriff's Department in their plan to be able to patrol parks and other areas which they no longer can do?
know, the sheriff has a lot of influence over the FOP, and that's part of what the sheriff's been trying to do for a while now. But what this really is the merger. You know, since the police came back, you know, the mayor's office in 2008, things have really never been worked out, and that's why I think we need to all kind of get together and get to a final solution as to who's going to be doing what, because that is frankly creating a lot of inefficiencies.
Do you think
We have multiple HRs, we have multiple property rooms, we have all that. I mean, it's just silly.
So the merger required the city to do an audit to determine if in fact the consolidation would result in any efficiencies. The city has yet to do an audit. Are you going to call for that audit this year to just put that to rest, or what's your plan on that?
Well, I didn't say anything like that. That was before my time, so no, I didn't want to. What I want to look at right now is look at the efficiencies, and then if there's an audit required afterwards, increase the trust, then maybe so. But there's efficiencies to be had across the board in public safety. You'll see us here in the near future get to that.
Why hasn't anybody been looking at him for the past 2 years then? She said nobody's been looking at him. It's not like they just inherited this problem in January.
Which problem?
The fact that maybe there's been inefficiencies, or the budget's out of the way, or no audit.
It's been inefficiencies for a long time in public safety because it's kind of been hands-on. Nobody wants to get in there. We just kind of give them the money that they ask for. But now we're going to start looking at who does what, and is that the best way of doing it, and that's what we're going to do.
The Sheriff Layton has been raising the alarm about his arresting medical costs for a year or more. How come it's only being discussed now how to deal with it? It wasn't fully budgeted
Well,
this year.
you'd have to ask them.
Didn't you guys help review his budgets though?
You know, we brought Six Sigma to that equation, and we think we're going to save quite a bit of money on that. We're the ones who are trying to help them get to that point. Again, you got to understand, everybody else has been doing more with less, and we've been creative in how we got this done. That's why you're here today, right? We saved almost $1 billion in this. There are different ways of getting things done, and the same old in public safety isn't going to play anymore.
how much of the problem is the FOP? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't.
Do you think they're part of the problem at all here?
I don't.
If you don't have them at the
I don't.
table,
I mean,
progress?
it doesn't matter to me. To be honest with you, we're going to do what we do.
Well, aren't they the people that have to actually carry out your policies? So
Not the FOP.
the FOP represents the officers who have to go carry out your policies and
They're
represent
a
on the street.
union representative. They're not the police department or the sheriff's. They're just a union. And so take that as you want to take it. But it's not the FOP. It's the guys on the street that have to carry it out.
So you mentioned that you're going to be looking at efficiency within public safety. So are you? Is the staff that's doing this? Are you creating a
You'll see.
task force?
Hopefully we'll see in the near future how we're going to do it. We're kind of putting those pieces together.
Have you been approached by, let's say, a bipartisan group of community leaders or counselors willing to just have conversations about where they see this going, and are you open to those